Hello everyone, I want to talk a little bit about the Ray of Disaster slash Deckman. It recently got patched, but it's still bugged. So let's talk a little bit about it, what changed, and what has kinda been fixed, and what has kinda been not fixed. So the first thing that they did was now Ray of Disaster does spread to other targets, and you can pass through other enemies, and it's gonna do damage, right? What they did was change the tick rate for the skill to 0.5 seconds now. Before it was much faster ticking. And that's why when you would proc poison and you would use Ray of Disaster, it would stack poison much faster than now. Like now takes a reasonable time to stack because it's 0.5 seconds per tick. And that's also the reason why you don't die to reflect, because it's only gonna take 0.5 seconds in every reflect. Before, I believe it was like at least 0.2 or 0.1, and it was much faster to proc and stack poison. In case you are struggling to do damage and you felt like you were doing more damage before, the biggest reason behind that is the poison stack. So when you do the cursed explosion, it takes into consideration poison. The poison is considered a dot, and when you have 20 stacks of poison, it's obviously gonna do way more damage than if you have, for example, let's say 10 to 12 stacks when you're gonna explode, because of the takes rate that it takes now on the rate. So for example, now it stacks 13 stacks before it used to stack almost 20 instantly. So I think they kind of messed up here. I think before it was like 0.1 or 0.05 or something like that, because it was an insane tick before. And now it got changed to 0.5, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad for the application of the ray. It's pretty bad for the application of the corrupt match circle. It's pretty bad for the application of the poison. And I don't know if it's intentional. If it is intentional, the skill is a lot worse than before, like a lot worse than before. It does a lot less damage than before, and it stacks a lot slower than before. So I really hope they change this to at least 0.3 or 0.2, because right now the skill is really underwhelming, and it was already a niche skill, and now it's even worse than it was before somehow. Another thing that they changed, and I saw a lot of people complaining, is before you used to cast it, and if you go away, the range for the cast of the tethering, the duration of the ray would be a lot longer, so you would be able to go really further away, and the ray would still keep ticking. But now, if you run basically a little bit outside of your range, so for example, I have here casting on 25 meters, which is almost my max range, right? I'm casting, boom. You can see it just disappeared because I have no clue. I believe Ray has a limit of around 20 meters limit, and before it was at least 30 or 35. And I don't know why this got changed. Again, if it's an intentional change, it's horrible. For example, if I cast on 20 meters, it disappears. So you can see, like, I need to be very close for the tethering of the Ray of Disaster to not disappear. That's a big problem because you're losing basically a very important skill with the Deckman. And another problem is, like I said, I can cast it from my max range and it just doesn't work, basically. It's ridiculous, honestly. Hey, sorry, little bit quick edit because I was testing a little more. I have to record this and put on the video because it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's even worse than I thought. So this guy has 13 meters range from me, right? And these other guys have like 21, 17. So let's see what happens if I cast Ray. Boom. Oh, so only the 13 meters guy kept the Ray. Great. And if I walk back, oh, it disappears! Amazing! God damn it, yes. What the yeah, that's the thing right now. If you go over 15 meters with Ray, it disappears. That's about it, yeah. Great. Oh my god. But yeah, that's another one of the problems. Let's talk about one other big problem. The Ray had a bug where if I cast the skill and moved, it would not do damage to the enemy. and when the enemy moved, it would not do damage to the enemy. And that bug still exists. You can see right here on this video that I just tested with a player. If he moves when I'm casting Ray, nothing happens. Oh my god, it's so bad! And another big issue that is coming from this is the recasting of the tethering of the rate when someone dies. The way rate works is when one person die, when the user that is targeted with the rate dies, the rate would retarget another target. And that was decently consistent before, but now if you test it, most of the times it simply will randomly work or not work. It's the same treatment as the vampiric contract. A lot of times it would work or not work. So Ray is still mega buggy. And if you consider it not a bug and a fix for the range thing, and for the retethering, and for the speed of the ticks and stacks, it's basically a useless skill, or like terrible. So I would rather think it's a bug, because there's no way it's intentional that me casting Ray from a range skill that it's castable is just making the skill disappear. So combining all of those things, I would still conclude that Deckman is not very decent or playable. Deckman got a big nerf because now you don't stack poison quick enough. The poison stacks are really slow, so that's the reason why your curse explosions are doing way less damage, because you're not fully stacking poison anymore compared to before. That also ruined a video that I'm making, but hopefully it changes. That was comparing Deckman versus Tevin versus Awakened Tevin. I was making all the calculations based on the way Ray worked on the old Deckman, and that's basically ruined. Now Deckman just lost a lot of value, let's say like that. Deckman just became pretty worthless compared to Tevin or Awakened Tevin. But yeah, that video is just to shine some light in the current bugs on the weapon, on the skill. And I don't recommend using it over Tevin right now. If you have Tevin, keep using Tevin. If you have Awakened Tevin, you're never gonna want to swap for the Deckman. So that's about it. Thank you for watching, and see ya.